Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. And in today's topic is white conservationism. Since the colonial period, white people have really done everything to control people of color, especially indigenous people. They say that the land doesn't belong to anyone, which is true if they're using their Eurocentric worldview and ideology of land ownership. But they don't understand that indigenous people are the guardians of the earth. Then, what is white conservationism? Like, when does environmentalism, when does animal rights, when does veganism become toxic? This whole concept of protecting the animals from the evil human and that human beings are intrinsically destroying nature are something that needs to be addressed because white saviors often use this to oppress indigenous people. What did they do? They established national parks. What are national parks? They're for nature, except for humans, because for some strange reason, human beings are not part of nature, which is really odd. But this is a way to like gatekeep and monopolize the power that indigenous people have, and they want that power over the land by convincing people that they are the moral ones. What I mean by power is that the power to protect the earth for the indigenous people. But for white conservationists, it is about racism and white entitlement. Many indigenous people get displaced from their homelands, becoming part of the ever cycle of poverty in slums because they are kicked out by people, white people, who think that indigenous people are destroying the earth and that all human beings are intrinsically evil. No, Karen, indigenous people did not cause the imbalance of nature. Indigenous people didn't start capitalism. Indigenous people didn't start mass producing and over wastage. Like, we have food, but the resources are monopolized. So, next time you go to an indigenous person or a person of color, shut your mouth. We don't want your lectures about, oh, halal meat is like evil, or indigenous people are savages. You're just a racist. And racism is not justified by so called protecting the animals when indigenous people have really sustainable ways of gathering and hunting their food. It wasn't till colonialism came along when much of the resources depleted at a faster rate. And if people want to say, oh, indigenous people also hunted animals to extinction, white people hunted species and people to extinction faster than any group of people. And before you listen to the species began extinct because of like humans hunting it, just like in the Stone Age, just like the Moa example. Like, were you there? And I don't want to see this attitude of like making me feel bad for consuming meat, or this attitude of get out of the land because you're destroying it, because you're not the guardians of this earth.